November 2025. Monday is the foundation that sets the tone for the week. Talking about the week is going to be quite a busy one for the presidency and the country as well. Today, the investigative report on that tragic August 6 helicopter crash will be made known to the National Security Council. The committee will present its findings to the National Security Council. Mind you, there was an RTI request by a member of parliament on the investigative report. And then after today, tomorrow, the report will be made public in the media via the presidency. On Wednesday, President Mohammed will officially launch the GHOne project in the Shanti regional capital, Kumasi. On Thursday, Finance Minister Dr. Kezia Latufo-Singh will present the 2026 budget statement to Parliament. Ahead of this presentation, the Finance Minister has been engaging some traders in the Western region. This is not the first time we're seeing the Finance Minister do this. I'm sure you recall somewhere in March this year, the Finance Minister engaged some traders within the national capital, Accra, and some KA as well, on what's the expectations, what they want. And so he's done it again ahead of the presentation of the 2026 budget statement in Parliament on Thursday. So you know that it's going to be quite a busy week, and stay with us. We'll bring you all the updates here on this channel right from now through till 10 a.m. every morning. We bring you all those details. A lot has been happening. Our workers happy. The base pay has been increased, which will take effect from January 1, 2026. Now they will receive 21 cedis instead of the original 19 cedis. If you're a worker out there, I'd love to hear from you. Is this something that you're excited about? Is this something that you think that government can do more? Should government increase it more? Well, we would love to hear from you. But first, let me motivate you. It's a beautiful Monday morning. Our motivation this morning is by Alice M. L., who says every day may not be good, but there's something good in every day. Sometimes you wake up, you think you're stressed, you're taking stock of your life, you're asking yourself questions. You're saying, it's not a good day, I don't think I'm doing well. I know that you feel that sometimes, especially as we have just about a month to wrap up 2025. But this is what you should do. Look through the day. It's 24 hours. There's something good within those 24 hours. And thank God for whatever deity that you believe in. So that's our way of motivating you this morning. Let's bring you our word for this morning.
Today's word is S-O-J-O-U-R-N. Again, S-O-J-O-U-R-N, sojourn. It's a verb. Sojourn means a short period when a person stays in a particular place. Let's exemplify it. When Ejabin went to the USA, he sojourned in Mexico before coming to Ghana. Sojourn.
So for those of you who are looking forward to going to the World Cup, Ghana will play Mexico, but then you can just sojourn to the United States or Canada. Anyway, so that's our word for you this morning. Let's pump you up. It's a beautiful Monday. Yeah. But go high. We're still going high. And dear to you, if you're a Hearts of Oak fan and you're a Liverpool fan, this one, dear. Oh no. Let's head to the courts. Let's head to the courts, and Captain is here. Captain, I'm just wondering how you're feeling this morning. You're a Hearts of Oak fan.
This your intro, yeah. Hey.
And then you're also an Arsenal fan.
Some of the weekends. Lily, you don't know what to do. Honestly, you get out in the course of the day very hopeful, thinking that, look, you have a very great and fruitful weekend. Then within a few hours, the whole mood changes. Emirates, I say Emirates. We went to Sunderland and they showed us football. They showed us
how to play real football.
Body check, physicality. But we will bounce back. Then phobia. The whole Accra Hearts of Oak.
Can you imagine?
I am not one person who will be blaming referees for, but the game as this. Ghana's version of El Clasico and officiating.
No. Yeah, Joe, we know. But you see, we are peace-loving people. Not. We don't want
you see, basa. It reminds me on the May 9th
disaster.
Incident.
Yeah.
The cause of the May 9th disaster was a call for an offside. When Kotogo thought that they had an equalizer and it was chopped off on offside. And that is the reason we had the May 9th disaster.
Yeah.
And we thought that our referees would have learned so much from that. The Hearts of Oak go from the angle that I saw it from, I think it was an offside. Because even the replay, you cannot really see the pictures well. But the penalty, I have an issue with it. I personally have an issue with it, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said you go high. Yeah. Anyway, what's happening in court?
Yes, Lily. You know, today is one of the days that will be remembered in the justice delivery system. Why? Chief Justice nominee, Justice Paul Bafuboni, is going to face the appointment committee of Parliament.
But is it going to come on? You know that the members of the minority side have vowed to resist this particular vetting. I'm wondering how today will pan out, stating, on the back of the opposition.
Yes. So what we know and what is clear is that Justice Paul Bafuboni will be vetted today, will appear before the appointment committee of Parliament for vetting. And if vetted and approved, he will become the next substantive Chief Justice. But I'll be telling you some interesting things you have to know about Justice Paul Bafuboni. You see, it's a man that smiles a lot. Smiles. That got that soft smile and all of that. But who is Justice Paul Bafuboni? And in the context of things, if approved, his tenure as a Chief Justice will not last too long. It will be a little over a year, depending on when he's approved. 26th December, he will be 69 years.
Oh, so he'll have a year to retire.
Yes. But who really is Justice Paul Bafuboni? Justice Paul Kwejo Bafuboni was born, like I said, 26 December 1956 to parents Openye Bafuo Boni from Sewa in the Bosumchi district, and Ama. Director, please go back and let me get the name of the mother right. From Brema, Amma Chiriwa from Brema, and all of that. So, like I said, when vetted, he will be the next Chief Justice for a year. And on September 23, that was when the President of the Republic put him, or the Constitution put him in acting capacity after the suspension of the Chief Justice. He was nominated on 23rd of September. And from April 22, when Justice Tokonu was suspended pending the outcome of some petitions, he resumed, or the Constitution put him in capacity of acting Chief Justice till now. And now that the Justice Mrs. Tokonu was removed from office for stated misbehavior. He's been playing that role, and the president has nominated him too, and the name has appeared, and then he is to be vetted today. So that is one of the things that we should look at for director. Let's move on. Then he has served so much well from all the hierarchies of the court, from the circuit court, high court, court of appeal, and now a justice of the Supreme Court in all of that. And if appointed or approved, he will be the 16th justice of the Supreme Court who has become the next chief justice. And in the context of thing, once he is approved as the next chief justice, we will come and tell you all the chief justices that we have had in our history and why Justice Paul Bafo-Boni is the 16th as Justice of the Supreme Court who will become the next Chief Justice. But in terms of education, I'm sure that the people in Goso Local Authority Primary School will be so happy because he attended a school in that particular school, and then attended the middle school. He completed his middle school sometime, certificate, of course. Yes, middle school, and completing his middle school level certificate examination in the 1960s. Where were you, Lily?
Oh my goodness, I don't even know where my mother was.
Yeah, so old student of Konongo Senior High School, present student will also be happy because he is an old student of Konongo Odumase Secondary School. Now I'm sure that he's a senior high school because of the reform that we have had. And of course, he obtained his GCE ordinary and GCE advanced level certificate in 1966 and 1967. Then he attended the University of Ghana School of Law, then later Makola. We all know what's happening in Makola and all of that. His work as a circuit court judge, like I mentioned, at Kumasi. He served as the High Court judge in Driayao in Kwanta. He was appointed a Court of Appeal in 2006 by President John Ajikun Kufuor.
That's such a
and
long
2
time
years
ago.
later, he was elevated to the Supreme Court. So he's been at the Supreme Court since 2008. And 2008 to now, 2018, 10 years.
If
So
it's
that is
2028,
18,
that's 20 years. So 17 years.
17 years. So he's been at the Supreme Court for 17 years. And he is the most senior judge on the Supreme Court bench as we speak. So in 2013, Justice Paul Bafo-Boni was on the panel of the Supreme Court. And that election petition, that to the first one that we had, he was part of the election petition. That petition, that panel, a 9-member panel, at the end, the decision was 5-4, a majority decision. And Justice Atuguba, William Atuguba, was the presiding judge there. Justice Atuguba, Paul Bafo-Boni was on that particular panel, historic case that we had in our political history. And of course, he's married to Patience Bafo-Boni. And guess
I'm
who?
sure we all know who she
And
is,
when
right?
you hear the story about how Justice Paul Bafo-Boni met the wife, he's had some work to do in the prisons. And that was where he met Mrs. Patience Bafo-Boni, the wife. So wherever you work, please.
Oh, he's
pay
a staunch
attention.
Liverpool fan.
That is why when I was talking, I didn't mention Liverpool.
Oh,
Justice for Bafo-Boni.
sorry, sir.
My Lord will be going into the seat as a walking alone.
Yes,
For now,
there you
all the
walk
Liverpool
alone.
fans are walking alone. Yes, he's a fan of Liverpool, and the last time he was having a shade on the Arsenal fans. We will not respond. At the end of the season, the Arsenal fans will come out. But he's also a fan of our rivals, Accra Great Olympics, the only club that in the country you can mention and have so many names. Accolade, Oli Gbogbo, Oli Pioto, Oli Konso, Oli Yeisa, Oli Second Chance, Oli Lily. You can mention all those things and you have that. So that is Justice Paul Bafo-Boni briefly. So today at 11 o'clock, he will be before the Appointment Committee of Parliament. And like you have mentioned, there have been some controversies. Minority are saying that, look, we will not vet you today and tomorrow. The majority are saying that it will happen now and again. So whoever is prepared. At 11 o'clock, we'll be in Parliament to see what will happen in relation to this matter.
What are we looking at?
Democracy Hub. You note that sometime 23rd of October, they were in court in relation to government decision to say that foreigners, Chinese who are found to be engaging in illegal mining. When they are arrested, they will be deported to their respective countries. Democracy Hub is saying that that cannot be the case. That should not be the issue. So they have issued a writ, and on top of that, they are asking for an interlocutory injunction seeking to stop government from taking that step. So this video that you see was on the 23rd of October when the matter first came up. Prosecutors requested for time to be able to seek for some comments from the other respondent, the Chief of Defense, Ministry of Defense, and the Ghana Immigration Service. They are the respondent, including the Attorney General, in relation to this very case. So today, that case is coming on before Justice George Akins Ampia Boni. But what are the reliefs that the applicant, Democracy Hub, is seeking? Director, let's have that picture so that I'll tell you more. Okay, here we go. So substantively, they are asking for two reliefs. One, an order restraining the first and second defendant. And the first and second defendant, they are talking about the Ministry of the Interior and Ministry of Ghana Immigration Service to their agent assigned and previous from deporting or removing from the jurisdiction without prosecuting any foreign national arrested for engaging in illegal mining and other offenses under Act 70. And the second one, an order restraining the same respondent, their agent, and from issuing or enforcing any further policy or directive that seeks to remove from the jurisdiction any foreign national arrested for engaging in illegal mining and other offenses under Act 703, pending the final determination of the substantive suit. So this morning, the court will hear argument from their lawyers, the lawyers of the plaintiffs, and the prosecution will also respond to that. Then, of course, the court will have that opportunity to make a decision whether to injunct government based on these reliefs that they are seeking, or to say that government can do whatever it has indicated that it will do. So these are the things that we should pay attention to by way of what is coming up in court today.
Okay. All right, Captain. That should do, right? Thank you very much. That should do for court today. Let's head to Inside Out. Well, on Inside Out, we talk about the issue of Galamsey. I'm sure that as a country, we are now a broken record when it comes to the fight against Galamsey. Now, the Galamseyers have the audacity to attack security agencies, to attack the people that are fighting them. Last week, I'm sure you heard of the unfortunate accident that occurred as a result of a certain altercation between the EPA, some journalists, and they had to flee for their lives. And then upon which they had that unfortunate accident, some journalists were injured. Some of them have been discharged to find out their state in subsequent belts. But the president has been speaking against this at the 29 GHOne Awards in Kumasi.
Freedom of expression does not include freedom to ruin reputations. Freedom of expression does not include freedom to threaten lives or incite violence. And as I've often said, the boundaries of free speech is speech that endangers peace and human dignity. My administration will continue engaging directly with the media. The interactive session I held on 10th September marked the beginning of a series of regular dialogues between the presidency and the Ghanaian media. The next such interaction will take place next year to commemorate the first anniversary of my government. We're also reactivating the Media Development Fund after extensive consultation with stakeholders. The fund will support capacity building, welfare, investigative journalism, digital literacy, and safety training. Ensuring that journalists can work confidently requires a united stand against illegal mining, popularly known as Galamsey. This is not a matter of convenience. It is essential for our very survival as a nation. The fight against illegal mining is complex and challenging. Illegal mining has so deeply ingrained itself in the fabric of our society that despite the obvious damage it causes to our environment, entire communities mobilize and confront security personnel when they arrive to combat illegal mining operations in their areas. Only yesterday, I received news of an accident in which some journalists were injured as they retreated from a community mob attack on EPA officials and security officers. I wish to notify communities that attack public officials and security personnel performing their lawful duties that firm action will be taken against them.
All right, so that's President Mohammed speaking at the 29 GJ Awards in Kumasi. Now, one of the things that as a country is appalling to us is that illegal miners will have the audacity, will have the effrontery to attack persons who are trying to stop the illegality. I am wondering what kind of bravado, who is engineering these illegal miners to have that kind of bravado, to have that kind of temerity, to attack persons like security officials, like EP officials, journalists. You are perpetrating an illegality. We're saying that stop it. Let's come to the round table. Let's find a suitable way of doing it so that you can benefit, the country can equally benefit. Stop degrading our land. Stop degrading our water bodies. Our food security is under siege. Our health is under siege. Everything is under siege. The air we breathe is threatened. And you have the temerity. Ibrahim Alassan has joined me. Ibrahim, good morning.
Good morning, Limo.
Like, sometimes...
That's exactly what you are saying. That's a community, a whole community.
That will have the audacity to attack people and say that we will not allow you come in.
Exactly. So, as you can see, the military men, armed, have positioned themselves. Their vehicles are parked. The community is saying that it will not allow them access to the mining sites. So when the president talks about community mobilizing to attack and then also resist,
it's
what we're talking about.
He's not saying it's in a vacuum.
Now,
Yes.
In the Ashanti region, this happened there. Now, it's along the same enclave that the EPA task force, together with the journalists, the point must be made. When we spoke to the EPA boss, she didn't say that it's an attack that resulted in the injuries.
They were fleeing for their lives.
They were fleeing from the attack. And because they had been cautioned that other individuals had mobilized on a certain route waiting for them, they decided to use alternative route. And that resulted in the accident that they had. And the accident was a collision with another vehicle that was carrying implement, gadget for galamsey activities. Yes. So that's the point that we are making.
You know, sometimes as a country, I wonder if we'll ever win this fight.
If we as a people want this fight to be won, we can win this. Because what will have been the alternative for these armed military men? To open fire.
Shoot.
Good. When fire is open, the conversation will now be military men shoot and kill civilians.
Yeah.
And that's the conversation. Now, they are trained to be very intelligent in handling some of these things. So, as you could see, they've taken position. They are not firing. Neither are they even moving to disperse them. They are thinking that common sense will, or somebody from this group will say that, no, what we're doing is wrong.
It's the nerve
of
these young men to even pull out their phones and video them wielding
sticks. Yes.
Hey.
That's where we are. That's where we find ourselves. So what the president said is very crucial, and the caution to all of us is very critical. That do this and you'll be dealt with. So yes, those people who did whatever they did in Hwidim will be dealt with. Those people who were actually, and that's what is befuddling, they were wearing vests, according to the EPA boss, with CID embossment. Macho men wielding weapons, wearing vests with CID embossment. If they are not, that's impersonation.
Yes.
Because upon interrogation by the national security officials who were part of the EPA team, they could not indicate, first of all, the identity, which station they were deployed from, and what have you. That was when they started making calls and they started massing up. Reason why these people had to flee.
And another thing is, where do they get those vests from?
Good question.
Because these are state property.
Exactly.
And where do they get? You cannot go to the market and purchase
No.
a CID vest. No.
No.
It's not sold in the market. It's not something that people are doling out.
Exactly.
It is something that is in the care of the state.
Yeah.
You can only get it if you are in the police station.
Exactly.
Or if you are police personnel.
Exactly.
So how do they get it? If they are not, if indeed it's been established that they are not, how do they get it?
Good. And this was Thursday, Friday. Today, we demand an update from the Ghana Police Service. The EPA boss has told us that the individuals, the ably built individuals with weapons, were wearing vests with CID embossment. Ghana Police, CID embossed vest can only come from your end.
Yes.
Let's hear from the Ghana Police Service an update about this. Did you follow up to go arrest these individuals, right? Do you know how they came by the CID embossed vest? Because that state authority they were wielding. And I can tell you that, but for the fact that they were wearing the CID embossed vest, the task force that met them, their reaction to them will have been different. But they were wearing CID embossed vest. Reason why, for instance, they went further to say, okay, so you are wearing, what operations are you engaging? And then others came in. Because if they were just to arrest them at the first encounter, I'm sure the story would have been different. They would have arrested them and then bundled them away. But because they were wearing CID embossed vest, you want to find out, okay, you are from
presume that, well, they are embarking on a state-sponsored operation. Yeah.
Exactly. So Ghana Police Service, in case you didn't hear, we are reminding you that when we spoke to the EPA boss on this platform on Friday, she had indicated that the tags, the arm tag, and interestingly, she mentions that the weapons they were wielding were much more sophisticated than weapons that the military members of her team, the national security members of the team, were wielding. So that's what they are dealing with.
Are we surprised? No. I mean, we've sat here and we've talked about how sophisticated Galamsey has become.
Yeah.
It's as though we're treating Galamsey with kids' gloves.
Yes.
We're sitting on a ticking time bomb. Because if indeed they are not CID, we are not saying, we don't want to conclude because we don't have the update from the Ghana Police Service. If they are impersonating the CID, if they have the effrontery to impersonate, if young people can gather courage and face off the military, then we're sitting on a ticking time bomb.
Yes, we are.
As a country, we are not angry enough.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because the more they destroy our water bodies and our vegetation, the more it will cost us as a nation.
When we talk about people being very cautious in these interventions, there's the reason. When Medium happened, we condemned it roundly. There's the reason. When this happens and nothing is done, you embolden the others.
Yes.
Oh, see, many people in other Galamsey communities will see this and go like, okay, these guys managed to stop the task force from assessing a mining site, right? So let's go the same route. Yeah. Eastern region, there was an operation over the weekend. Guess what? Over 32 Nigerians, no Ghanaians, Nigerians were arrested. And guess what they attempted doing? They had gone to procure the services of thugs with machetes welding thugs, to come and confront the NIMOS task force.
Because this is what is happening.
And they overpowered them and arrested all of them. And of course, I've seen pictures and videos of these thugs with their crude implements, with machetes and what have you. And they are mining in homes. See, I've seen a video where it's just about 1 meter away from a house, and there's an excavator there mining. And this is on the Birim River, and Yinem, and then Osino area there. Those of us who go to Kumasi, this will not come to us as a surprise. Just by the road. In fact, there's a police station. It's the famous police station at Enyinem. Yeah. You know, there's a river at Enyinem, the Birim River. And you see some young people selling bushmeat just by the bridge. They are engaged in legitimate business. But just behind them, you see excavators. Just in front of them, You see excavated. And there's a police station, yes. Before you get to the bridge, there's a police station coming from Accra. There's a police station. And they do nothing. Professor Frimpong Boateng cited this in his report. The man talked about Professor Frimpong Boateng report. And it's there. So that's where the operation took place. And these guys had a front tree to also go and then hire thugs towards machetes and come and confront the 9 Months Task Force.
Like I
the
said,
impudence.
We are not angry enough. If, as a country, young people can do this, imagine the number of young people who will be going about doing more.
Yeah.
It's such a sad situation, unfortunately. Yes. We'll be waiting for update from the Ghana Police Service. And on the back of these issues, you remember that President Mohammed spoke about this at the GHOne Awards. Yeah. And so let's congratulate our very own Rosemond Akoko Boateng, a.k.a. Akoko Lagata. Congratulations to you for winning Best Reporter in Business and Economics. Yeah. Congratulations to you. And then to Redwan Karim Dini Osman as well. Congratulations to you, Reid. Best in News Reporting. Congratulations, Redwan, on radio. And then to our very own Rosemond Akoko Boateng. Yes. And to the overall winner, Godwin Asidiba. Yeah. Congratulations to you. Wish you all the best. You're doing amazing and we're proud of you. So congratulations to all the other award winners as well. We love you. We are proud of you. I know that the Ink fraternity doesn't celebrate us enough. Oh yes. But let's keep up the good work.
Definitely. It's a tree that doesn't often reward. So in terms of recognitions like this, we say kudos, Aiko, and we're proud of you. Yes, and now so she's your business reporter for the year. So the businesses, you know the reporter to go to. Right, you know the reporter to go to, Akoko. Yes, and through her you can come to us.
Absolutely. Anyway, that should do for Inside Out. Let's look at what the newspapers are reporting this morning.
SML hits back at Kissie Jabin, accuses him of distortion of fact. Yesterday.
This is going to be a long haul.
Friday.
That was on Friday. Yeah. It was going to be a long haul.
Yes. The SML also had their own media encounter, just as Kissie Jabin did. And it took a while, of course. Kissie Jabin's one also took a while. So theirs also took a while. But so now we are done with the media arena. Let's get them to head to the legal arena, the court. Yeah, it's okay. So now we've heard from Kissie, we've heard from SML. Kissie had indicated that by the end of this month, he will be pressing charges.
To court,
so let's see that play.
They will have their day to defend themselves.
Most definitely. See private sector as key partner in national development. That's according to the KGL boss, Alex Dade. And money laundering, terrorism, financing are not just financial crimes, but That's according to the Deputy Finance Minister. Yes.
The memory verse for this one?
Yes. Boiler companies suspend planned nationwide strike after talks with government. And here, boiler company talking about ESPA, right?
Yeah.
Environmental Service Providers Association.
Yeah.
On Saturday, they were to lay down their tools because of a number of arrears. What's the name? The debt that government owes it. It's been suspended because the minister has intervened. And see private. Okay, I've given you that already. Memory verse. Isaiah 54:17. No weapon that is fashioned against you shall succeed, and you shall refute every tongue that rises against you in judgment.
Amen. This is the word of the Lord.
So says the Lord. And I'm sure it goes for you, it goes for everybody.
Yes, this one, yes, hello.
You're right. You're right.
Let me bring you the Daily Statesman. It says, Berima upon cautions chiefs against partisan politics. KGL, private sector not rival to government. I'll lead NPP back to power. John Boedi declares bid for national chairmanship. Well, that's a good one. We wish him all the best, actually. Yeah. Some say that ever since he left as the General Secretary, there's been you can feel his absence, and so it's good that he's heading to the national chairmanship. Well.
Yeah.
I think we need to sit with him.
Yeah. The race is getting keener and keener. Boache Jakun is in there as well, and then many others as well.
Many others, Asabi and all others,
is in there as well. Let's see how that plays out. Okay, the Ghanaian point. Speak truth to power and shun hate speech. President Mohammed, journalist here, says freedom of speech does not mean that freedom to defame others. Private sector must be recognized as a partner, not a competitor. Alex Dade, advocate at UG Alumni Lecture 2025. NIMOS arrest 36 galamseyers in Osino, and these were the tags that I was talking about. Justice Bafuboni faces appointment committee today. Yes, we'll bring that to you on GHOne TV and on Star FM as well. ESPA urges members to suspend planned strike as talks with government progress. That is it for the Ghanaian point.
The Daily just says 5 names out for NPP national chairmanship. Torino is there, Boache Jakun, John Boedu is there, Samuel Boateng, the Kumasi governor himself, Chairman Wontumi is there. And then Kwabena Bankwa is also there. He was the treasurer of the party. Take firm decision on Galamsey fine to Tumfo tells Mahama. Minority threatens to block acting CJ Verton today. I wonder how that will pan out. Maybe by 11 we'll know.
Oh yes, but no, they will show up. I'm sure they will use a platform to register their displeasure, and then of course, but the vetting will take place.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. The archives. OSP now a crime scene. People alleges house helps on payroll.
Really?
Yeah, that's. I'm sure that's why they say alleges. It's up to him to at least prove that. Yeah, embrace private sector as partner, not competitor. KGL boss advocate. Government to resume abandoned Takoradi Market Circle project. That's according to the finance minister as he exercised. So the finance minister was in Takoradi.
Yeah, where he engaged traders ahead of the budget presentation.
So I know that. Okay, the budget presentation is Thursday.
It's Thursday.
It means that they are still crossing the T's and dotting the I's. So if there's a need for some changes, the finance minister can effect those changes. Oh, okay. All right.
The Republic Press says Brian vindicated at last as Senate renews hand for strategic investor. That's a very good, interesting headline. NIMOS arrests 41 suspects, including 32 Nigerians in Brim North and Fantiako South districts. Mahama urges media to safeguard peace ahead of 2028 elections. God will not send money from heaven. Mining will continue. Huh?
That's according to the Ada MP. Okay, so mining will continue in itself is not wrong.
Maybe not illegal mining.
Exactly.
That's
Okay, so the new crusading guide this morning, Otunfo expresses anger at Galamsey menace, criticizes politicians. Yes, he says it's an existential threat that we must pay attention to. Private sector must be recognized as partner, not competitor, unless that they advocate. And John Boedu declares bid for NPP national chairmanship. All small-scale miners in Ghana don't have license to mine. That's according to the NDC MP. And Ni Antreteria Klangbalo, the second, installed as a showman chief. And Jehovah Jireh, Assemblies of God celebrates Reverend Dr. Joyce Frempong. I will never give up. So that's it.
The News Center. Local marine insurance to boost city creates jobs. That's according to IBAG. S&P upgrades Ghana to B, from B- to B, meaning that our economic outlook is stable. OSP got it wrong. SML insists findings were rushed. Urges president to review evidence before enforcing contract termination. Godwin Asidiba named 2024 GJ Journalist of the Year. Congratulations, Godwin.
Daily Guide. Private sector ally in development. Alex Dade. St. John's Hospital is healthcare provider of the year. SML petitions Mahama over GRA contract, and Parliament grills Chief Justice nominee. And Delft Imaging complete Oreo TB detection project. That is it.
The New Publisher says search for new CJ. Parliament vets Justice Bafuboni despite minorities' objection. John Boedu runs for NPP national chairman. Mahama schools journalists on news reportage. He didn't school us. It was only admonishing. Police investigate coach over alleged sodomy of 16-year-old victim dead.
The Informer this morning, private sector strategic partner in nation building, KGL boss, SML in dirty blackmail over contract cancellation, and government's Galamsey fight crumbles as illegal miners overpower state. And government promises to settle debt owed waste service providers. S&P thumbs up Ghana for good economic management.
Daily Graphic 2024 GJ Awards, Asidiba tops all, will deepen press freedom. President Mohammed GJ Awards supports mainstream media to grow. That's according to the Asante.
The custodian this morning, Audu Mohammed's custodian. Minority hangs dark clouds on Bafo Boni's vetting. Africa needs ethically homegrown AI strategies. That's according to the chief of staff. And waste managers suspend strike after government assurance. JB declares bid for NPP chairmanship. And the Dade story is still here.
I know, right? The Ghanaian Times this morning, TV3's Godwin Asidiba is 2024 Best Journalist. Effective PPP can bridge Ghana's infrastructure gap. Innovations as per calls of nationwide strike. Ambassador strengthens leadership architecture globally. President Mahama shows journalists of safety, freedom of expression. All right, that should do for the papers this morning. Thank you very much for this with him. We take a break, and when we come back, I'll sit with my guests for the breakfast review. Stay with me. Matthias Alagbo, he is the Volta Regional Youth Organizer for the ruling NDC. Richard Suma is Deputy General Secretary for the United Party, and Prince Ifa is former CEO for GIFE. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
How are we doing? It's good to see all of you.
We're good. You look amazing.
Thank you.
So beautiful. I like your green.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, you have green in your party colors.
Of course. I know the youth wing, the green is our color.
Ah, so Green Army.
The Green Army.
Okay.
We represent life, growth, prosperity.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the Richard is nodding.
I have nothing to say. we hope you do some blue sometime.
Well, interestingly, blue is my favorite color.
You see, but the way you are yellow also look good.
She's yellow.
You see, I am yellow.
Yellow will make you fantastic.
Actually, anytime I wore mustards, it looked very good on me.
Yeah. So try yellow more often.
Anyway, let's as we're talking about yellow, gold is yellow color, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the issue of illegal mining has come up again very strong. Over the weekend, President Mohammed had the cause to condemn the confrontations that some youth in the country have garnered bravado to do with security personnel. There was a video. I'm sure my director can put it up on the screen so we can. It happened somewhere in the Ashanti region where the youth. And the interesting thing is they put up their phones and recorded themselves confronting the military personnel. The military personnel had to stay away at a distance and observe them. They wielded sticks and they intended to attack these military personnel. Quite unfortunate. And I am wondering, Matthias, let me start with you. Are we fighting Galamsey?
Thank you very much, my sister. Let me use the opportunity to say a special good morning to our cherished viewers, especially some of the young CEOs doing wonders in terms of the research agenda. Mr. Apechi Awono, MD for Boss Energies, and Edu Jitameklo, doing great at NPA, and Yayira Koku, and of course, the Governor of Bank of Ghana and our Maestro Finance Minister. And yes, the fact that we are seeing today a confrontation between the NIMOS or the enforcement arm of the special purpose vehicle put together by this government to fight Galamsey, the fact that we are seeing a confrontation and is a clear demonstration of the unwavering commitment of President Mohammed to fight Galamsey. And in time past, we don't see extent of these exchanges. And so we all stand in solidarity with NIMOS, and we roundly condemn the acts of confrontation being perpetuated by these youth groups in the communities. Clearly, the government of the day is committed, and I've stated on this show before that President Mohammed's ironclad commitment to confront Galamsey, he will stop at nothing until we achieve to restore our forests and bring life back to our water bodies, because these are critical ingredients of life-supporting systems for us as a people. If our young people have suddenly begin to think that the only way they can be rich overnight is to destroy our forests and water bodies, the more of the confrontation is bound to come, because government will not back down and the fight will escalate. And that we call on every meaning Ghanaians. I stated here that, say, the true owners of the land, the true custodians of the land are our chiefs. We have seen in this country that our chiefs have imposed a ban on drumming and noise making over a period, and especially in the areas where this Galamsey menace is taken, we have a centralized traditional authority, and that is why one of the key pillars that government has instituted in the course of fighting Galamsey is to engage in stakeholder consultation and education. And this is to bring to bear the scientific basis of the destruction Galamsey is bringing to all of us. You can be hundreds of miles away from the Galamsey site, but eventually it will catch up with you in the food you eat. The poisonous substances finding their way into our kotomre, our banchi, and everything else should give reason that at no time should anybody have reason to say that, oh, Galamsey is the only source of livelihood, so it can be condoned. That's why I say that the day that our chiefs, our bishops, our community leaders say that there must be an end to Galamsey, that is the day we'll get very closer to ending this menace. As for the government side, what you see is just the enforcement arm. That is the NIMOS actually going. We have seen reports about NIMOS people rejecting bribe to arrest people in the eastern region. In time past, joining NIMOS was more like how soldiers fight to go to peacekeeping because it gave them the opportunity to go and make money on the field. But today, the heartwarming news is that no amount of bribery is actually able to tame the effort of these NIMOS people. And we want to commend the Commander-in-Chief of Ghana Forces and President of the Republic, President Mohammed, for his unwavering commitment to actually sound a caution to these youth groups that they cannot defeat government's effort to end Galamsey. And I'm sure that when we all come on board, and we are not telling these young people that end Galamsey and they go hungry, because when you see we have lost very statesmen like Honorable Dr. Omani Boama, Murtala Mohammed and co. They were going to engage in an activity more or less like the alternative livelihood to promote a cooperative mining. Government is engaging with the World Bank to use a geological survey to identify where we can mine and get the gold that are far from our water bodies. And this is ongoing. And these youth groups just need to cooperate with government to ensure that you don't do what is illegal that destroy all of us, but you can mine in a very responsible way. So we have to condemn it, and we will condemn it and we'll continue to fight until Galamsey become a thing of the past. So I can say that the fight against Galamsey is just beginning and more is to come. And those who know the drug problem in South America, you can see Galamsey in the same light, because if for about 8 years in a row become a policy where more like every member of society, leading member of society, see Galamsey as a way to be rich overnight, it has become a subculture imbibed by our young people. And it's not going to be easy, but the fact that our livelihood, our survival as a people depends on this, government will stop at nothing to ensure that we fight them. But it doesn't mean that we'll leave them to nothing. There are plans in place in terms of cooperative mining, identifying where they can mine, and there are equally plans in place to ensure that mining on our water bodies and the forest reserve become a criminal endeavor, a prohibitive engagement whatsoever, for which if you dare to do so, the force of the state will come handy, and you will not be very happy with yourself.
Richard.
Yeah, I'm listening to my brother. It's more or less like a beautiful sermon which is being preached to me this morning, and I appreciate it so much. And I will again like to say good morning to all your viewers, the entire production team of GHOne, to the people of Whole Central, and to all the management and everybody that works with your beautiful company, doing a good job for Mother Ghana, and to all my senior brothers who are sharing this platform with them this morning. Well, you see, the issue about Galamsey is more like a life and a death situation. Sure. And you realize that to the young men and women who find themselves in these communities where Galamsey is happening, to them they have made up their minds, stereotype mindset, that the life of themselves and their families and everybody that surrounds them depend largely on illegal mining. So to them, no matter what any government does, they are not ready to lay down their tools to say that, oh no, government is providing us some alternative means, government is doing that, government is doing this, therefore we are stopping illegal mining activities. No. To them, they must survive. To them, they must live. And then again, if you look at the data, about almost 3 million of our youth now are engaged in illegal mining activities. If you look at the military strength of this country, it's just around 10,000 or 15,000 military personnel. So even if you deploy the entire Ghana military machinery and the youth of this country who are involved heavily in illegal mining say they want to do illegal mining, then I'm sure we're going to lose a lot of lives, because that one is going to be gun battles. Look at the issue of the EPA one, for instance. They say they were heavily built men with pump action guns, with sophisticated weapons, to the extent that the security people who were working with the EPA had to eventually run for cover. NIMOS was operating with about 15 military personnel and other security officers. What happened? They were overwhelmed by just about 400 young men who tried to overpower them and made them redundant. And eventually it did happen. Then again, if you look at the critical contributor to the Galamsey, it's about political financing. I keep saying this every day and now, that the political financiers, most of them are doing mining. Some could be legal, some could be illegal. And as we speak now, even it's difficult for us to distinguish between illegal miners and legal miners. Because there are some concessions that people go, they tell you that we have license to mine, we've been permitted to mine. But then again, how are we doing the responsible mining? Those who are even licensed to mine, how are they mining? There was a time when GHOne promises that you are going to deploy people from UMass, University of Mines and School of Mines, you are going to deploy them to work in hand with the mining firms so that responsible mining can be encouraged. As of now, we don't know how many of the UMass graduates that have been assigned or has been deployed to go and work with all the licensed mining companies. But those who are doing the illegal ones, they are always trying to be ahead of the security agencies. Just like he's trying to mention about the drug activities in the Southern America. Even now, Donald Trump is even bombing boats that he suspects that they are carrying drugs on the Pacific and other places. But that is still not deterring them from doing the drug deal, because their life depends on it. Then again, we are talking about who is the true custodian of the lands that they have the natural resources deposited on. It is the government, because look, you can say theoretically that yes, the chiefs are the custodians of the land, but land that there is no natural resources on it, they claim is for the chiefs. But the moment they find lithium there, they find gold there, they find diamond there, they say it is no longer for the chief, it is for the state. That is the law. So until we are able to amend this law and make the traditional authorities and government co-trustees of our natural resources, we are not going anywhere. The last time GHOne met, see, the willpower will be there. For instance, the likes of me, I cannot sit and say that, oh, maybe GHOne is the one who is encouraging illegal mining, or he's not willing to do anything about it. The same way, Nana Akufo-Addo, the past president, also to the point of even putting his presidency on the line.
Yeah, that's true.
That means he meant it well. Even he said, if that is going to cause all my members of parliament to lose their seat, we are prepared to go that way. And what happened? Most of the MPs within the MPP fraternity lost their seats. Yeah. Because perhaps they were trying to satisfy the interest of their leader by also doing certain things which their members didn't find it good enough for them, especially the voters. So, until we find a way of ensuring that we bring the traditional authorities and we do constant open dialogue, an overt one, the way we're able to bring all the CSOs to the Jubilee House, we had an open dialogue with them, they spoke, and then all these things, some of the challenges they were experiencing, they brought it to the fore, which are not news. We've known all the challenges the CSOs have been raising. We've been talking about it over and over. The only one that people were still talking about is the state of emergency. Now, the government is also saying that they have not exhausted all means to them, so we shouldn't talk about state of emergency now. Let us accept that is the case. But I would want to see the president also assembling all the traditional authorities to the Jubilee House Any community that illegal mining activity is happening, we want to see them at the Jubilee House. We want them to be on camera. It should be an overt conversation. Let everybody hear. What is their problem? What is their challenge? Why are you not being able to put your youth under checks and balance? Because
but why are we trying to play ostriches here? Don't we know the challenge? Don't we know why these people are involved?
That is what I'm saying, that it is the lack of
jobs.
unemployment. There is no jobs. There's nothing for them. And now you see the aspect of the thing which is more difficult is that the Galamsey profit is much juicy than any other thing that you want them to venture in. Just like the cocaine business. Cocaine business is so juicy, so profitable. That is why the youth are not ready to go into anything. Like for instance, this Nkuko Kitten project. Perhaps it's a nice thing. But for instance, we are talking about layers. And layers, let's assume without admitting that they even take 4 months to start laying. Do you think a Ghanaian youth is ready to start rearing Nkuko Kitten and wait for 4 months for it to start laying one egg? And even when they start laying egg, they'll start laying like 1, 2, 3, 4 before it gets to the hundreds. They are not ready for that. So the only way is that.
But by the way, you know that it is not just one
a day when they start. If it starts
fed very well,
one a day. But I mean, you would have a number of chicks that will eventually go.
How many can they give a Galamsey? How many can you give them? Can you give them 10,000 beds? Can you give them 50,000 beds? You are going to give them maximum of 50 or 100. So if one start laying one, that means in a month I'm going to get about 50 eggs. Then gradually it will start increasing. So I'm looking at the State Farm project. The State Farm project, at least you have given them something directly. Like, look, let's say that enclave, we can do rubber, we can do cocoa, we can do cashew, we can do palm. Look, we can do several things that you can galvanize the youth and give them condition. And if I pay you 100 Ghana cedi a day, that is enough for you. You dare not go and do any other thing. When we arrest you, at least we have given you an option. We are giving you daily income. Are you with me? So with that one, you know that if it is rubber you are doing, obviously you can establish more rubber processing factories. So once you have the rubber trees, now you can harvest the rubber and process it into other finished product. Isn't that the case? Or you are doing shea butter, or you are doing, do something by using the state resources to create state farms, have state farms, big state farms, that you can pay them. Other than that, there is nothing you can do to entice them. That is why I am saying I am willing and praying that we win the fight against Galamsey. But I'm asking, 2028 January, would we still be talking about Galamsey, or would have said to ourselves that we have won the fight against Galamsey?
Is it realistic that we'll win it entirely in the next 3 years? You think
even to what level? That's why I'm saying that what are the variables are we using to measure the fight against Galamsey? Because anything that our present government is doing, the past government has done it before. Have they not arrested and burnt excavators? Yeah. Have they not arrested people and even jailed them? Didn't they have a security operative that were on the ground everywhere trying to arrest people here and there? Maybe the commitment there and the commitment now, somebody can argue, those in government can argue that we are doing much more better than they did. But those who in opposition to, they will tell you we did better than they are doing. So it's like we are pouring water on stone and we are expecting it to sink deep in it. How is that possible? So respectfully, I would want to let the government understand that until you create an opportunity for the youth, until you galvanize them. You see, leadership is about galvanizing the people. But here, the system is without synergy. Okay? Because you must harness the individual energies of the people to build what we call synergy. But here, we don't have any synergy. In tree, they say there will be a pen or yeah or my way. So now GM is warning them. GM, respectfully, you are the Jubilee House, you are the commander-in-chief of the army. Unless you deploy 2 battalions, unless you deploy 2, 3, 4 battalions to go and win the war against Galamsey, even that one, it will be counterproductive, because the moment you go the arms way, do you think all the arms that the Galamseyers are having, where are they getting the arms from? People are financing it. Very sophisticated weapons, pump action guns, machine guns, guns that perhaps even the army doesn't have. So unless they tell me that they are going to take they'll take mortar barracks from home and go there and use artillery and be bombing people, bombing fire. But if you go hand on hand or head on with them, perhaps you cannot even win them because the entire community feel that their livelihood depends on illegal mining. So respectfully, women, I saw a video last time, 7-year-old kids are involved in illegal mining. So it's now becoming a generational thing. We are transferring it to another generation. Yeah. And women also don't have anything to do. So they are selling food at the Galamsey side. They are doing this, they are doing that. So the moment you go after them, it's like you are going after everybody's livelihood.
Right. Prince.
Ajay, how are you?
I'm doing very well. How?
It's greetings to, thank you, I'm okay. Greetings to your viewers, especially MPP people out there. It's a great initiative.
So we are not included?
Well, I said especially. I said everyone. But I'm speaking to a point.
Especially to your family members.
To my family members.
To the Blue Army.
Elephant family. You know, the one member, one vote is on the way. There, registration is happening. So as soon as it kicks off, people should all participate so we can help rebuild our party faster. With that said, Hajia, I don't think the NDC government is serious about the Galamsey fight.
Why?
They are not serious, and it's very clear. I think what they are doing right now is they're doing what I call a Galamsey PR fight.
How so?
Okay, that's what the NDC government is pursuing. The news conference.
On what basis?
I'm giving you the apple.
Okay.
Don't be too anxious. You see, the president they are very good at propaganda, which they did well, especially Russian-type propaganda. They used that to get into power. We all saw how they heightened the whole Galamsey fight very close to the election. Or to, get the people to rile up against the government and use that to win as much as they did to get into power. And then since then, everything has turned into news conferences. The president is warning people out there. We, with all due respect, we don't need any more talk. We know the president is good at communicating. All right? We all know that. And he's very smooth, okay? But what we need is action. No more talking. Nana Akufo-Addo has shown that in the last 9 years or so, he's the only one who actually did something significant on the Galamsey fight. For almost 2 years, he banned all small-scale mining. That was the only time that anyone here, objective in Ghana, can say that our water bodies began to be restored and all that. Unfortunately, when there was a resumption, we could not sustain those gains. And we all know how the Galamsey fight, got worsened again. Okay? But at least he tried for 2 years to do something about it. What is the government that, when they were in opposition, what are they doing that is even comparable to what Nana Addo did for the first 20 months or so from about April of 2017? Nothing. So much talk, riling up the people, even risking some lives out there. 37 and what have you, saying they're fighting Galamsey. Some people may have even had medical problems, if not death, because of that. And then now, I think the last time they did a vigil, it's now turned from, I guess this is a friendly government, so now they do vigils instead of demonstration. Okay? So, where is the fight? Please, we don't need more talking. We don't need more PR. We need action. Simple as that. We have now evidence of armed groups, as a colleague here talked about, who were wearing CID badges on their clothes. I don't want to add anything extraneous to what he said, but I think that part needed to be mentioned.
The EPA boss when she spoke to the
That's
media.
the EPA boss, Professor Nana Kluche. Okay? So, it can't get more credible than that from the very government which is in power, because she is part of the government. And this is what they are saying. They had to run for their dear lives. This is where the thing has gotten to. It's even beyond the people that the president was focused on. The president, we has to remember, we have armed bandits now with evidence who are part of this menace. It goes beyond warning some of our people and our citizens who may be attacking some of these NIMOS and other forces who are trying to help us fight this fight. Okay? So the armed bandits are out there. He refuses what he said. He said 4 months he will have this under control. I have the video of it when he was in opposition and was very free to give all the promises that he could. Okay? Now in government, 10 months, and he said that we no longer need a state of emergency. The other time he was playing with words, as we all know, he's very good at the smooth talk. And he said that it's a national, he didn't say state of emergency, he said it's a national emergency. You know,
but is it not?
Well, of course, but we need a state of emergency. There's a difference between saying that this is a national emergency and a state of emergency. They said that needed to be declared. This is not me. This is the people in government now.
Okay,
they said,
but at the
so
time,
what are they waiting for?
At the time, your government of the day said it was not necessary.
I just reminded you that my government of the day went beyond a state of emergency. It implemented a total ban. It's higher than a state of emergency.
But beyond
we did that for 20 months. Do you know how much money was lost? How many tons or metric tons of gold do we produce in a year? I think the last time I checked, it was 50 metric tons. I stand to be corrected. Okay? And do you know how much metric tons of gold we have in Ghana here in deposit? Last time I checked, it was 1 million metric tons of gold. Gold is going to be mined. Okay?
Regardless.
Gold. You know, I'm not here trying to pretend that gold mining is not going to happen. The gold is there. And we have, in fact, that's what makes it even more scary. Because as I told you, the amount of gold deposits we have is very high. If we don't exercise a sense of urgency, and we need it from a government that actually promised us heaven on earth in this fight. Just a few months ago. It hasn't even been a year, I think, or at most about a year from the time they were demonstrating everywhere till they got power. And so we are going to mine. We need to mine. The issue is the systematic policies that need to be put in place. That's what matters. Effective policies. Because as my colleague was saying here, okay, there's a whole lot of stuff that needs to be done. For example, I couldn't help.
So averagely 37 tons a day.
Okay, thank you. I couldn't help, but you know, as my colleague, he had so much great information. I couldn't help but to look at how much money that we've gotten, that we have injected into the dollar, to propping up the cedi against the dollar. I've lost count. The last time I checked, before last month, I think it was $5.6 billion. And then since then, I've heard that they were going to inject another billion, or 1.1, and I think November is 1 billion. So about 2 more billion. So we may be heading towards, we need the official numbers, but we could be in and around 7.6 by this month. $7.6 billion. And a lot of this, obviously, is from small-scale mining, which includes Galamsey. With all due respect to Sami Jemfi, who now tells us that they don't buy any Galamsey gold. I wonder where all the gold are just going to. Of course, they're buying everything. And that's the law, that we buy all the gold through Gold Board. And if we're getting this amount of money, and we depreciate the dollar, okay, which primarily increases imports, reduces export revenues, reduces remittances, which last year we had
the full year total.
I'm getting you to do so much research.
Around 5.5.
The what?
The injection, the dollar injection,
Could
reach around 5.5. It's not the 7 billion that yes.
Okay, well, I will have to look at it again because I heard we had already put in 5.6. But that's unbelievable amount of money being
so
put
the first
into
quarter
that.
was 1.4 billion.
Okay.
And then later it was 2.5 billion. And then we expected an additional 1 billion.
When the MPP came up with a gold purchasing program, which was piloted in 2021, implemented from 2022, for about 30 months, the entire government put in roughly $2 billion into the program, which works out to the limit that they agreed with the IMF, which was about $60 million a month. That's what was put in. So the CD, which was supposed to projected to reach about over 20 cedis to $1 by the end of 2024, ended up at 14.7 at handover. So it was already appreciating. And we were doing it carefully. You've come in, and within a year, whether it's 5 point something or 7 point something, wherever we end up, in 1 year, and you're putting all this money in when we need the alternative livelihood program, which was, by the way, it was an MPP program. We need to get serious with making sure that we have co-ops, we have the technology, we have the alternative programs for these people. These are the serious reforms that need to be done. We need to put an immediate state of emergency. And please, the state of emergency is actually a step lower, so to speak, than the total ban that Nana Addo put in for almost 2 years, so that we can take stock and attach a higher sense of urgency, okay, to the issue, because this is an existential issue. It is not minor. You promised it. Please come through on it so that we can put in all these serious programs. We can put some of the money that we're getting from the foreign reserves, the gold purchasing program, into an urgent investment into these things. We can't wait. If we're not careful, very soon, our cocoa is is on track to getting banned. Even our gold, I'm told, is not mostly sold in some of the more regulated economies. It's mostly sold through the eastern side of the world.
Okay.
Because the gold is seen as, kind of dirty gold to some extent. If we're not careful, we can run into serious ditch. We can't just depend on you because you have 4 years, so you don't want to stop anything. You want the gold, you want the money, you want the economy, with even at the risk of existential health risk to the people. We can't wait on you.
Absolutely.
We can't wait on you.
All right.
And we don't want PR.
Okay. Let me take, I know you have some battles to do, but let me take a break here. I'll be back shortly. You're welcome back to the show. This is still G today here on GHOne TV. I am Lily Mohammed. My guests are still here for the breakfast review. Matthias, Richard, and Prince. Matthias, you had a rebuttal before I took that break. Okay.
Government, this whole fight against galamsey, government is approaching this whole thing from a very scientific basis.
All right.
Because when we talk about engaging stakeholder education and collaboration, it was because research has found that limited awareness is out there with regard to the impact of galamsey on the environment and our health. That is why government is actively engaging with our chiefs, our community leaders, church leaders, and actually we even have a meeting at the Flagstaff House where all the stakeholders that are involved in this fight against galamsey were engaged. It's all about getting ideas from all so that government can actually approach this thing and fight it aggressively. Now, when we talk of corruption among politicians, among people in high places, among the security service agencies, has been identified as one of the key causes that fund the galamsey menace. That is why in time past, it was like going to peacekeeping if you're selected to work with NIMOS. So government has improved that aspect now that you can see NIMOS people rejecting bribery on the field as they are effecting arrest. And the last time I checked, about 3 million people are involved in small-scale mining. And no advocate has actually stated that, oh, let's ban mining in total. That is why government is saying that, okay, so if we talk about lack of opportunities, we're working with the World Bank to ensure that as part of the regulatory reforms to ban and make it a prohibitive venture to actually mine in our water bodies and forest reserves is to ensure that these same people can now be put into a cooperative groups to mine in areas where there is proper yield that they can get their gold. That is why government is investing money through collaboration with the World Bank to actually identify through a geological survey to identify where we can get a good yield to move these people to go out there and mine. And I agree with my brother when he talked about people sitting in Accra in a space of 4 years issued about 2,100 mining licenses fraudulently. And today, part of the legal reforms that we are making is that there's going to be a decentralized form of issuing mining permits. Nobody will sit at the Minerals Commission in Accra and then just issue a mining license that eventually will take somebody into our water bodies and forest reserves. You must go first and foremost as a prospective miner to the ground and engage with the chiefs, engage with the local authorities. It is only when the district mining committee is able to give you a cheat that, yes, we have identified a place that we think that you can mine safely and responsibly, that the whole process of even issuing the permit can start in Accra. And we believe that when that is done, the noise about, oh, okay, the chiefs only sit down there and then somebody wake up and come and brandish in their faces that, oh, they have a piece of paper called a mining permit from Accra and devastate their water bodies, devastate their cocoa farms, will be a thing of the past. So government is quite scientific about it. And I want to reiterate again that President Mahama's commitment to fight galamsey is unwavering. So when you see a clash, say we in the process of establishing this alternative and cooperative mining, we have lost credible statements in the person of Dr. Mani Boama, in the persons of military officers, and the Minister for Environment. We have lost them. You have seen the CEO of EPA actually coming under threat. They even had accident in the process. They should tell you,
together with journalists,
yes,
by the way,
including journalists. They should tell you, though, that the fight against galamsey is ongoing. Effort is being made. And there's a pushback from the criminals in the forest. That is why the NIMOS have stated clearly that anybody that is involved in this galamsey activity is an enemy of the state and will come hard at you. And I believe that in the coming days, if a full battalion have to be deployed into these areas to ensure that we work hard to win the hearts and minds of Ghanaian people by achieving the fight against galamsey, that will be done. It will not be done for political purposes, because it will be done because our very existence as a nation, as a people, depends on fighting galamsey. Because how do we wake up every day and the whole nation will be devastated where people are moving around with kidney diseases and then there are not enough dialysis centers because of, see, what's poverty? Lack of opportunity may be reasons. I can tell you that essentially what is aggravating this Galamsey menace right now? It is barefaced corruption, barefaced greed, and the cravings for instant gratification. Because when you go to these Galamsey areas, what you see is about lifestyle that are associated with ostentatious expenditure of young guys buying big cars, prostitutes all over the place. And I want to assure the Ghanaian people that President Mahama is not thinking about anything else but achieving the fight against Galamsey to its logical conclusion. And everything that government will do to achieve that, we are doing so. But we are inviting our chiefs that the rhetoric is enough. The chiefs have power. If we are able to ban people join Akwasidai Festival, we are able to institute bans for funerals. We should be able to equally rise up as chiefs. The SAFO groups should collaborate. That is why the stakeholder engagement is taking place. They should collaborate with government to ensure that while you see NIMOs fighting, we should not see communities rising against them. We should see communities rising in support of NIMOs to ensure that we fish out these people from our water bodies and our forest reserves, because they pass through our villages first before they enter into the forest, and we have a collective responsibility to fight Galamsey.
My quick one, just a minute on this. One, the operative of the NIMOs, how sustainable it is. Because you go into one area, go and ransack the place, do everything you want to do there, you move into another area. By the time you leave that area, they have come back again. So what is the sustainability plan of the NIMOs operation? We must ask. Two, we are also saying that we need to take a proper audit of what is happening within the mining sector. We need to do proper audit, even if we need to get external help for us to do a proper audit and have a first-hand information as to what the audit findings will be able to do or to be revealed. Three, we are also saying that aspect of the law, you see, the chiefs, as far as I agree with my good brother, is that, yeah, the chief, the willpower, but when it comes to issue of money, hitherto, we used to get chiefs who were not rich enough to be able to do anything for themselves. So the chiefs depend largely on whatever is within their jurisdiction. Back in the days, you see Uhinia, they add some lands and other things to it for you because they know that obviously you don't have anything to survive on. But today, most of the people who have even become chiefs, the lands that are under the customary stool, some of these lands, there is gold deposit on it. So at the end of the day, do you expect the chief to sit back when they are also very poor, they don't have anything, for them to fight the illegal money? They will condone it. They'll support it. They will be in for it. And then the last point of it is that let us find a way of knowing where the illegal money, where is their gold going. Their gold, because you see, you cannot tell me that the gold that you are buying from Gold Board to support the city, you cannot tell me, I'm not a small boy, to tell me that the illegal miners, those gold, where are those ones?
Okay. All right. Prince, let me take you off for a minute and then we'll touch on salary increment.
Yes. Sorry.
Matthias.
Matthias repeated propaganda, which is that 2,000 licenses were issued by the previous government. This has been fact-checked. It's false. And they've been saying it. As they do, they propagandize, sometimes they lie, and they do it over and over, and then Ghanaians believe this stuff. So I need to make sure that people understand it. Gold licenses, per Minerals Commission's record, 1,402 were issued just between 2012 and 2016 by President Mahama's government. 1,402. And then another 8 years, total issued 1,014. So please stop the propaganda. Having said that, you see, he kept saying things like, oh, President Mahama is committed. President Mahama, he will give assurance. We don't need assurances. We don't need commitment. We don't need the Galamsey PR fight. We need a real fight.
Okay.
And things are really getting out of hand. There's a lot of gold in deposits. We cannot continue. We need to take a step back. You said that you yourself agreed with what Dr. Baumia had been preaching, which is we need a geological survey to really tell us our best locations for gold and all that as a start. Okay, this hasn't been done. Do the state of emergency now, so that all these basic things that should have been done already can be done now. And then we can go back. It's not stopping mining, but we cannot just continue the degradation, okay, on a daily basis while you say that you are committed, you are fully committed. No, you are just looking at your next election. That's what you are committed to, not really ready to fight the Galamsey. In the meantime, you're doing the Galamsey PR fight. That's what you're really doing. Thank you.
Okay. No. Let's talk about salary increment for public sector workers. Government has announced a 9% increment, which will take effect on January 1, 2026. And I have seen some commentary on the back of this that it is woefully inadequate, because the last time there was an increase, that was somewhere in March, and that was 10%, now it's 9%. The previous government did more than that. Workers will only be paid 21 cedis. Is that enough? That is not what you promised workers. Is that it, Camila?
My papa.
Well, I think the reset is still in progress.
Okay.
As and when the pie gets bigger, I'm not in doubt at all that government will pass that on to the Ghanaian people. Having said that, I think that the increment is in the right direction.
Okay.
What is worthy and what is more worth mentioning, though, is the fiscal stability that we have achieved. If you go to the developed world, for instance, the rate of inflation is marginal and minimal. Hardly do you hear salary increases in tens of percentage points. It's in 1-2 percentage points because there's a predictability. There is a stability where the price of goods and services remain constant or quite negligible in change over the period of time. So today we are very happy because I'm sure we're coming to talk about the S&P credit rating that have actually stated that our economy have now stabilized. It simply means that you can go to our markets in the next 1 year, and then the prices of goods and services will remain stable. So even with the 10% increment, you can plan around it. The value of what your take-home pay is remain constant and remain stable. And so I believe that generally, yes, who doesn't want more money? If you wake up one day and then you hear that your salary has been increased by 50%, you first go on your knees to thank God, and then you go have a good meal, and then you plan for the extra money that is to come. But certainly, the ability of the employer to pay also matters in this game. And what is important, like I stated, is the stability that comes with the marginal increase. That you will not go take a taxi today for 20 cedis, and then tomorrow, because of price increases, it shoots to 50 cedis. That completely, more or less, disable your earning that has come to you. So we have to look at it from that perspective, that there's stability. You can plan your life. The prices of goods and services have stabilized. The finance minister was at Takoradi Market yesterday, and from what he has said, it's like the good news is coming from the people, because the people in our market are the people who can actually tell you whether you are doing well or not, despite the figures that we put across. And I just want to commend the government for taking the effort, but I'm sure that in the coming years, when proper stability is achieved in terms of the economy expanding and government brings in more money, the big push is being achieved, and infrastructure projects and economic expand, we want to get more money in our pockets. And certainly, if government have it, they'll pass it on to the Ghanaian worker. Thank you.
Okay, all right.
Well, the question is that how many Ghanaians are in the public sector in the first place? How many are they? And then again, you live in a country where they tell you that all the money we accrue from taxes, from everything we get as a country, 99% or 98% of that amount of money is used to pay salaries and servicing maturing debt and paying for other remunerations and other things. Then we come back to zero. So at the end of the day, our ability to widen our revenue base is not good enough.
Around 700,000 Ghanaians.
700,000 Ghanaians. What a pity of a story to be told.
We are 33 million.
33 million people, and only 700,000 people are in the public, are on government payroll. Specifically, not even 2 million out of the citizens. And we are also not talking about an enterprise economy where we will empower enterprises, empower SMEs, empower indigenous businesses for them to be able to grow and expand. So now, if we are talking about a 9% increment, I would like to agree with you that it's woefully inadequate. Because if you look at that salary, we are talking about disposable income. Your tax component is there, other components are there. So at the end of the day, if I'm taking 3,000 cedis, and most of these people, their salary is not even above 10,000 cedis. How many people are in the public sector today and tell me that their salary is above 10,000 cedis? Very few. Even those in the military, those in the police, those in the custom, those who are working in other places that we consider them to be the high-end employees of the country, how much is their salary? So we need to be noted for something as a country, because all the money we get is from this small money that GRE collects. Because you see, even when we talk about the S&P rating and all those things, they are telling you that you are doing well because you are increasing in gold and cocoa. Gold and cocoa, how sustainable is gold and cocoa? What is
but
that?
Gold is sustainable because you know that the entire nation is covered in gold.
Let me tell you, gold is a finite product. It's not infinite. Gold is a finite product. So what up tomorrow if there is no gold deposit again? Because when I mine an extra gold from it, don't expect the gold to come back again. No. It's finished. So the rate at which we are going, that's why Saudi Arabia, the other countries in the East, they have a lot of gold deposit, but they are not ready to go there at all. They don't want to touch it. They are focusing on building tourism. Because tourism is a low-hanging fruit that can rake you a lot of revenue.
Yeah.
What is Malaysia doing? You think Malaysia don't have gold? Or they don't have anything at all? Malaysia zeroed in on the palm plantation project. They rake in over $20 billion annually out of palm plantation project alone.
And we have it in abundance.
Even they came to learn it from here. Are you getting my point? So we need to widen our revenue space so that when you get more, you can employ more people and you can pay them. There are a lot of graduates. Can you just support the number of graduates that are leaving our universities and the number of people we are employing? So how then do you want to win the fight against Galamsey? Because if every university today, they say national service people alone, about 130,000 people are applying for national service a year. So if you are talking about 5 years in the line, you are talking about over 500,000, over 600,000 people who are graduating. And yes, our public space is only shrinking further because we are not employing, we are rather shrinking further. So I want to plead with government that they say that what you have is what you can give. Sure. The reason being is that they don't have it. The country is broke. Ghana is completely broke. Let us admit it that we are broke. If you are not broke, how can you give a 9% salary increment? Because you don't have it, so you don't want to commit yourself to something you cannot afford. We are broke. Let us admit it. World Bank, when Kwame Nkrumah started to do this geological thing, did he take money from World Bank? Today, all the gold that you are extracting, all the oil that you are getting, everything you are getting, you are still going to World Bank to give you money to go and find where your gold is deposited in your country. What a pity of a nation. So that is why we need to speak truth to power and let them understand that the way we are being governed, the way we are being led into complete abyss and complete mediocrity. So salary workers are not getting enough because let me tell you, rent is increasing. Rent is increasing. For the landlord, he doesn't care whether the country's inflation are reduced to 9% or 8%. It still doesn't reflect in the market. Because on paper, your inflation is about 8%. 9% single digit. We will say, oh, yeah, inflation is not single digit. But the price of KK is still not coming down. The price of condombre is not coming down. The food we eat today in Ghana, respectfully, if you want to cook a meal, a reasonable meal in the house, you will not spend anything less than 200 Ghana cedis if you are a family of 5 people. And then again, the funny bit of it is that Madam Lily, whilst we are trying to win the war against Galamsey, do you know that I have a friend who called me from the north? He has done 75 acres of rice. As I'm speaking to you now, the rice is maturing. He doesn't know who is going to buy the rice. I had a contact to the buffer stock. When I called, they said they are not responsible for buying. Are you getting my point? So
there's a directive.
Come again.
There's a directive.
That they should buy?
They should buy grains, about 100 million.
Oh, it's a drop in the ocean. Somebody has 75 acres, he doesn't have a buyer. But don't forget that the buffer stock, they are not the licensed commodity buyers who they will buy and distribute into the market. They are buying and stocking that in case of any eventuality, we are able to do what? Use that to cushion ourselves and distribute into the system. But here lies the case, the money that is meant for us to use to buy the produce, some are also milking it and siphoning it into other things. So the truth of the matter is that our disposable income as a country is not good.
Okay.
Cost of living is still not good. Workers are suffering. Don't we increase electricity by 30%? Don't we increase water by 30%? So why don't you have the courage to increase salary by 30%?
Well, the previous administration attempted it, by the way. Anyway, Prince, let me hear from you.
Matthias, right? Yes. Matthias said something that I need to respond to very quickly. In 1998, okay, under the NDC-2 government, I call it second NDC government, okay, as the second term of President Rawlings and Vice President Mills, right? The debt to GDP ratio was about 37.6%. Within 2 years, by 2000, it had risen to 74.5%. A debt to GDP ratio is the most important ratio when you want to look at our debt stock, because that shows not just the debt, but our capacity to pay and service the debt. Okay, it's the most important statistics when you're looking at those things. So that shows you and around 2000, we had an oil crisis and inflation crisis. And so within that short period of time, that's how we ended up in HIPIC. NPP's first government had to fix that. So when my friends, because they haven't had a crisis in 10 months, when they are talking with all their kakabinsem, relax yourselves because the history is there. And I have verified it. So when President Kufuor left office, okay, debt to GDP was about 24 to 25% between the years 2008 and 2009. That's what was handed over to President Mills and Vice President Mohammed at the time. The reason why I say this is by the time President Mohammed left office, in and around 2016 and 2017, our debt to GDP...
But since you mentioned HIPIC, I'm sure you also recall that the HIPIC came with debt forgiveness.
Of course.
So a lot of our debt...
We had to deal with our debt stock because the debt to GDP was too high. They went up to 74%, as I mentioned, under the second NDC government, okay? So we, President Akufo-Addo, inherited a debt to GDP of about between 56 and 57%, which was too high. In fact, there is a whole lot of history. I don't have time to get into it.
Okay.
But they took it more than doubled, okay? President Mahama and President Mills, for that matter, more than doubled the debt to GDP, which they handed over. So when we were hit by the inflation crisis, which was global, okay, by coronavirus and all the debt, the GDP growth that almost went to zero around the world, including Ghana, borders shut down and everything. We went into a debt crisis. Eventually, NPP recovered the economy, did the unfortunate, the regrettable haircut, which originally was supposed to be one on the Eurobond. But then during the negotiation, as part of it, a domestic part of it was introduced, which has hurt some pensioners. Really unfortunate. But the bottom line is we're enjoying today's debt to GDP, which at least on the IMF website has come down to about 60%, mainly because of the work of the NPP that was done. And on the backs of some of our pensioners and others who have suffered. So when NDC is taking all the credit, they need to relax a little bit. They have done well with some expenditure management since they have been in. But please, your 9 months did not solve our debt to GDP ratio, which spiraled out of control because of the crisis that came in. And you have to make sure that the people who have suffered, at least you give them credit for all of these to get our debt stock back on track. And these things happen during periods of crisis. To conclude, all right, I just want to make sure that, as we talk about this, the pay raise, right, the pay increments, the MPP from 2017, almost year in and year out, always made sure, okay, and you can see 12.5% in 2017, 11% in 2018, 2019, 10%, 2020, 15%, and so on and so forth. We always, Nanado made sure that workers were a little bit better off than the inflation. So please, the unions, the workers, your unions, you need to talk to them, because inflation alone and using inflation as a way to just give these paltry raises, that was not what happened under Nanado. He always made sure that there was a little bit better, because there are taxes. And so far, I have here about 10 to 12 taxes that you have implemented, and tariffs in electricity, water, VAT. I mean, if I had time, I'll give you all of them.
Unfortunately,
I don't have the time. So you are shortchanging workers. And it's clear that the previous government treated the workers better than you are doing. And the unions and their leaders, they need to talk to their leadership, because they are not getting the best deal from this government for them.
Okay.
Which the evidence shows.
Unfortunately,
Thank you.
I'm out of time. You had all the time to talk. Unfortunately, that's Principal. He's former CEO for GIFEC. Richard Suma is the Deputy General Secretary for the United Party. And Matthias Alagwe is a Volta Regional Youth Organizer for the NDC. My name is Lily Mohammed. I am back shortly after this. We'll talk about the State Housing Corporation. To the show. This is still GH Today here on GHOne. Now, the State Housing Company is embarking on a revenue mobilization drive. And Catherine Ajinasare is a manager for estates with the SHC. And she'll tell us about this revenue mobilization drive, who qualifies for some products that they're bringing out. Good morning, Catherine. How are you?
Good morning.
And congratulations on your baby, by the way. She's trying to hide it so that I'll not tell people who she is. Anyway, let's talk about the SHC. Yes. What's this revenue mobilization drive? What is it about? What are you doing specifically?
Okay, so the revenue mobilization drive is just State Housing's way of collecting our monies that are out there with our lessees or our clients and giving the clients a flexible, some sort of discount. So from November to the end of the year, we are running this sort of promotion to get people who have outstanding debts owed to the company, pay it up in full, and then you're free, at peace. Yes. Okay, so help us understand the nitty-gritties of this drive. What is accounting for it? Okay, so we realized that we have a lot. You know, the company is a state-owned company. It's even though it's a public limited liability, we report to SLIGA. But we realized that we have a lot of our funds or our monies. We have a lot of clients that owe probably years of unpaid ground rents, regularization fees that have been given them. They haven't settled and all of that. So this drive is also a way of raking in revenue for the company to also stay afloat and to also do what its core mandate is, which is building for the people of Ghana. Yeah. So you say the people who benefit from this drive is a promotion, isn't it? It's a promotion. So from now, that is from the beginning of November till the end of the year, that's 31st December, anyone that has any outstanding bills to settle with the company, you get a 15% discount. Do you have a threshold or any bill at all? Any bill that you have in terms of, ground rents, admin fees for processes, some of our services like change of ownerships and consents to develop, the admin fees for those ones, you get a 15% discount if you already have a bill. If you don't, you can come in and take advantage of the period, the promotion that is going on, and then get the 15%. So ground rent, regularization, lease renewals, and consent, admin fees, and things like that. Yeah. Is this something you do annually or once in a while? It's a once in a while something. It's been done on the down low over the past period, but this time around we really want to push it so that we can rake in as much so that the company can do what its core mandate. State Housing, our core mandate is to build for the people of Ghana. And to do this, we are not a subvented company. We have to get in our IGF. And our IGF is really through our services that we offer, which is some of these things, the ground rents, the change of ownerships, lease renewals, and regularizations, etc. So if you are able to pay in the money, we are looking at raking in some good revenue so that we can continue building on a large scale for the people of Ghana. So you can give us affordable housing. I keep saying affordability is relative. It's really relative, looking at where the locations are, cost of construction and everything in Ghana. So affordability is a whole different subject on its own, but relatively affordable if you compare us to what others are doing on the markets. We are relatively affordable. Okay, so if you talk about in terms of money, if I owe SHC and I come to you and say I want to pay in installments, you're giving me a 15% discount. Do I still qualify for that? Installment, if you want to settle everything between now and December, you can get the 15%. But if you're looking at anything beyond December, no, you don't qualify for the 15%. So an installment basis, if I say, okay, so today's 10th November, between 10th and 20th, I'll pay you, and then, so I'll give you in tranches till the end of December. I still qualify? You can get the 15%. So in this instance, do I get the 15% on every payment I make? No, or it's on the bulk figure. Okay. It's on the bulk figure, not on the between now and December, not on whatever you have to pay between now and December. It's on the bulk figure, not on every time you come in to make some. No, it's just on the bulk figure, and then you can pay till the end of the year. That's 31st December from 1st or 2nd January when we start anything.
A new year.
When we start a new year, anything beyond that comes with other penalties in terms of, interest payments and things like it's money. And currently, as we're sitting here, our monies are out there. It's losing value because 1 cedi yesterday is not the same as 1 cedi today. So if you are able to settle that, but if you go beyond that, who knows what will happen next year. So it's better you pay in now, you enjoy the 15%. Next year, start afresh, and then you don't have a bulk debt sitting waiting.
What happens if I'm unable to offset this debt by 31st December?
You lose out on the 15%. And
entirely?
Entirely.
Oh.
31st December, no more promotion. Promo ended. We go back to business as usual.
So
you have the full
let's
debt
say
to pay.
I tell you that I want to pay in tranches.
Yes.
And then let's say I tell you in 4 installments. And then I give you 3, and I default by the 31st December, and I bring it, let's say, on the 2nd of January. I still lose my 15%?
My accounts team would look into it, but please make sure whatever it is by the 31st of December you have paid, because then maybe some calculations will be done on whatever remaining balance you have to pay and all of that, yes.
So why don't you deduct these monies from source? Because a lot of the houses are given to public workers, right?
Yes, but these are, I think we don't, it's not something that we are deducting from. These are people that have owned houses 60 years, some have gone on retirement and all of that. So it's best you just walk into any of our offices all over the country. You can get an update on all your bills, whatever it is you are owing the company, and then you can settle that. I think it's easier that way than having to go through deduction from source and all of that. We're giving you the opportunity to plan and then settle your debts instead of, it's being taken from source. I think the process may be a bit long for.
Okay, but how do I know how much I owe? Do you send constant reminders? Are people able to call your offices? Is there a way, today we're in a technology world,
yes,
for people to find out how much they owe?
So currently we are exploring a digitalization drive where we could, going forward, we would be able to send you updates on your bills and things like that. But currently, you can just call any of our numbers, visit any of our offices, and you should be able to get an update on your bill. I can put out the numbers, the office numbers.
Please go ahead.
Okay. So if you want an update on your bill, in Accra, you can call 0302221422. You can also call 055-272-5656 or 0503-083-393. So I'll take them again: 0302221422, 0552-725-656, or 0503-083-393. Okay, so you can call these numbers if you are listening to us and you're viewing us or you're watching us from Ho, from Tamale, from Bolga, from Kumasi, Sunyani, Seshriyosu, Cape Coast, Takrade, anywhere in Ghana occupying a state house. And you can call these numbers. They could direct you to where the regional offices are so that you can walk in, have an update of your bill, and then you can settle the bill and enjoy the 15% by 31st December.
You say if I fail to pay by 31st December, I get penalties. Is there a cap on the penalties, or at a discretion?
Usually it's just the interest calculations that is done on any outstanding balances that you may have. The last resort we have to recover our bills is taking legal actions, which we are mandated by the State House and Ejectment Act. But that is the last resort. We are a listening company. You can walk in, sit down, talk to us. If you want a payment plan, we can help you structure it, and then you are able to pay. But we encourage you to take advantage of this discount so that you don't have to go through interest calculations and all of that, so that you can settle the bill comfortably by the end of the year.
Where can I pay? Must I walk into your offices?
You can walk into our offices to make that payment. You can call any of the numbers I put out to get our bank details and pay directly, send a screenshot to any of the numbers. They would issue your receipts. Or you can use the short code *442*1# and then follow the prompts. You would be able to make your payments.
And if I need further assistance?
Call our numbers, visit our offices, or send us an email on info@statehousing.gov.gh. Send us an email. We will be able to help you out.
For the viewers out there who are part of your client, what are your final words for them?
My final words are that this is a unique opportunity State Housing is given to everyone who owes the company. Take advantage of it. It's 15%. Come settle your bill, and then you would have a very, very wonderful Christmas, very wonderful end of year, knowing that the burden of I owe State Housing has been lifted off and it's done. We are doing that for you.
But is it a challenge getting people to come and pay?
It's a challenge getting anyone to part with money.
But you owe somebody money. It shouldn't be a challenge to pay that money you owe.
We know a lot of things call for our resources. And you know, when you hear states, everybody thinks, okay, then, they are buying, so you are not supposed to give a lot of pressure. But the state is all of us. Help us stay afloat so that we can do what we have been mandated to do for you as a company.
Is it a challenge also to get state accommodation? Is it difficult? A lot of people have had cause to complain.
We have a lot of houses that State Housing is putting up. Walk into our offices and let's see. There's a house available for you in every part of Ghana, surprisingly.
Okay.
We have properties in Kumasi, properties in Tamale, Volta region, Ho. We have properties in Takrady, Sefrioso. We have properties in every part, every corner of Ghana. There's a place that we can.
Do you have a lot in Accra?
Yes. Adenta, we have Urban Premier coming up. There are apartments, there are detached units. Amaya has 3 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms.
Are these for sale or rent?
They are for sale. Okay. They are for sale.
But you don't have some for rent?
No, not for rent. Not yet, no.
All right, Catherine, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So please, be a client of the State Housing Company. We have 15% discount for you. By the end of December 31, Wala. That's Catherine GHOne, sorry. She's a manager for estates of the State Housing Company Limited. When I come back from this break, we speak to somebody who will need your help. Stay with me.
It's yet another hospital visit for 21-year-old Suleimana Adams and his mother, Kubi Kabukwo. For the past 2 years, the Kolebu Teaching Hospital has become like a second home, a place the family has been compelled to visit almost every 2 weeks. They travel all the way from Akosombo for reviews, a difficult journey for a family that now struggles to afford even daily meals. Suleimana's widowed mother, a Zoom Lion employee, survives by borrowing from friends and relying on the kindness of strangers to keep her son's treatment going. It all began when Suleimana was 19, preparing for his WASSCE exams. He started complaining of severe headaches, which soon became unbearable.
At the time I was senior high school, Form 3.
I started to say.
Oh, I started, no, me feel it. I didn't know me feel it or me dream. Now, I didn't move or me dream.
After several hospital visits and a number of misdiagnoses, doctors finally confirmed the devastating truth: a brain tumor that is slowly becoming fatal. At first, the family was told surgery would cost 5,000 cedis, but they simply couldn't raise the money in time. Now, the tumor has grown, leaving Suleimana completely blind and his condition worsening by the day.
No be SS. I got 3 months. No be SS. Oh, can't you say, mommy? Me three any mini. Sana me see you. with the mental chim sa ako hospital sa nam di na ko ako sa mo fo no mo mam kalanta se men ko fodua but ko fodua ko drum se men bra kolibu on be tram picture any machine bibia na yesanko.
Doctors at the Kolibu Teaching Hospital say Sulemana needs urgent surgery which would cost 80,000 cedis to save his life. But his mother has nothing left to sell and nowhere else to run to.
Me pa obia che you are say we ni na omboa me was me niska nubi na me fire operation na me ban enti Mohammed alaji present bia and MP bia and obia what you are say unyame ka omukuma na omboa me.
For Sulemana, every new day is a fight to live, and every cedi could make the difference between life and death. To support his surgery, donations can be sent to 055 7933 570 with the Momo name EIB Network. It's yet another hospital visit for 21-year-old Sulemana Adams and his mother, Kubi Kabukwo. For the past 2 years, the Kolibu Teaching Hospital has become like a second home, a place the family has been compelled to visit almost every 2 weeks. They travel all the way from Akosombo for reviews, a difficult journey for a family that now struggles to afford even daily meals. Sulemana's widowed mother, a Zoom Lion employee, survives by borrowing from friends and relying on the kindness of strangers to keep her son's treatment going. It all began when Sulemana was 19, preparing for his WASI exams. He started complaining of severe headaches, which soon became unbearable.
At the time when I was senior high school, no, Form 3.
I started to say.
Oh, I started, no, me feel I didn't, no, me feel it, or me trim. Now, I didn't move or me trim.
After several hospital visits and a number of misdiagnoses, doctors finally confirmed the devastating truth: a brain tumor that is slowly becoming fatal. At first, the family was told surgery would cost 5,000 cedis, but they simply couldn't raise the money in time. Now, the tumor has grown, leaving Sulemana completely blind and his condition worsening by the day.
No be SS. I got 3 months. No be SS. Oh, can't you say, mommy? Me three any minute. Sana me see you. With the mental chim sa ako hospital sa nam di na ko ako sa mo fo no mo mam kalanta se men ko fodua but ko fodua ko drum se men bra kolibu on be tram picture any machine bibia na yesanko.
Doctors at the Kolibu Teaching Hospital say Sulemana needs urgent surgery which would cost 80,000 cedis to save his life. But his mother has nothing left to sell and nowhere else to run to.
Me pa obia che you are say we ni na omboa me was me niska nubi na me fire operation na me ban enti Mohammed alaji present bia and MP bia.
So that's the story of Sulemana Adams, a 21-year-old. And as we speak, he's gone completely blind in both eyes. his mother, Sulemana himself, and somebody who's helping them, a volunteer who's helping them are here. His mother is Kubi Kabuko, Sulemana himself, Sulemana Adams is here, and then Esther Yaira Elowoko, she's a close relative and somebody who's volunteered to be helping them. But let's take it from the top. I know you've seen the story, but let's hear it from the horse's own mouth. Man Patrick is saying. Wait me at a second. Wait me at a second. Can get someone to help. Help. So I'll engage them. You can see the emotional state of the mother. Sulemana himself is here. I told you earlier, his eyes are completely dark. He cannot see anything. He needs 80,000 cedis. Fellow Ghanaians, we have come to you a number of times. You have come through for us. Please. This is the emotional state of the mother. The numbers are on your screen. Can we donate to save Sulemana's life? Every time we come to you, that's Sulemana on your screen. You do this for us. You save us. You help us save lives. So please, this time around, we're imploring you. Please help us save. The mother is imploring you. We here at the EIB Network, we are equally imploring you to help save this boy's life. Ma, minim se yadie. Nanso ubetimi adiako. Min kai we yaudie. Ubetimi diako. Emra ye frel se no secondary school, right? I frel se or yare empendudo say na mo call hospital e ba ne say na mo hu say eventually or brain tumor.
Ajo na yeah.
Taking a deep breath. You say, mommy. Good. Another one. Good. Why?
Ciao. Tana mi ba no kan kire mi say. Ne tre ya ni ya eni ni nenu. Na, e de no chim hospital musa. Asa sikasa. Nti na mi se mi de no akọ. Akọ mo vianroe. Nti me do ha. Na o de no ko share machine no. Awie no se me fa mi kokofodua. Me de no akokofodua nso. Omo so am ko hwe no. Na mo sa mankalata se me fa mbra koribu. Nti me be do koribu a. Na omo so no share machine no sa. Omo kan se omo chro. Se me fa nkoma vianroe. Hospital me fa koma omo. Nti me ko a. O kan se yarebi or the brain tumor. Or what ni tremo. And they just say, omo ye operation. Aman. And Tim me dekai. I say sikani njira. Me nembi. Nti me chunchim sa. Na. Yare no. O yese obe kokakra no samba. Nti me de no aba koribu. Me de no aba koribu no. Omo sempre, omo de no veto machine. Omo se me ko ye test. Me ye test we. Me ye sa se sa ma bre. Nti baby, omo se me ko ye lab no. Nti me ko na scan on 40 minutes.
That's 4,000 cities.
Nti adano na me kita 7 million Nti doctor can say bet me akoya wa akosomo anatema. Nti me ko duru akosomo a omo se machine na say na me ko Roma agomenya akoye wo hospital no. Mo ko ya test no na ye back 5. Omo ye 9 ma me wo ho na ka back no mo se eni ho. No mo tro le taman se me ko ya wa tipoko filling station. Me ko ye. Me di test no be bre doctor no can say two president me ko ye one we so akere different we so akere different enti onti me eji sa we no test no ha na ma pie ma me so sa na me na mi papa so ne you say me so na mi papa o ona no be bua me na me so na nam me so me chia na sister be frame mama ade na me sha no ko ye sister we sister me nim free baby am nim no obi sam say ma de me ka say book ni hunti anie no fa book no wa fam no o kanti no se me mbra ahin fa na me wo na me say ya me be da baby ayare fo no omo so mo wo hon ya na me be da o ho ni akra no na sister na timichiri o ko chame be cha na sister no o de me ko o ko yetes no mami o ko yetes no mami me ko drufia na me kuma na nyebe ma mikura na me ko koma o me freno na sister no o sa be fami akai para clinic me sha o di so ni yuso en moja adi mumiso sana mini ati mini anti na mu se o fa ko ya we wo fe abetran mi chen nti sister no oboa mi nti yesa ye kira sampa yesa ye kira ba korebunu ada no na
nti ahyase ne mu kwa akosombo nti later na mu ba kolebu okay
nti akora no me kitano na me ba hospital no onti me na ti na ni nso ohun ade nti me ne dem beye no na
sama mo ko kolebo ne de no ohun ade but akosombo ne de satam no ohun ade
satam de ohun ade nti me di no ba kolebo no ni 6 months no na ni no ba ko no ohun ade bio na ka ba ko no na me di no ko etena se me bla se na ye ba sa nti obedro 2 months no na ba ko no so oko okay wa di bio
enu ye ben
last year we are
okay but you already started 2023 okay nti start here no 6 months later and ani ba ko no ifrai year we na okay
ba ko so ako
na eni ba ko no ifrai na aseme na doctors na ka tremo
omusi jise umu ye operation no amano nti timon no woni trim no ofa na homa na owon ninim ofa ahoma no so nti jise umu ye operation asana nyame boa na nininu epepi sana obetwe nti umu kansa no na ma me dia akora na ba no na akora no me eya no omre nti ofiase me fa ne se ya enya yi nti nam ma me bi odi ma aja omo humi eni ne kun kuma no omo ebisa akora no asemi on se o ninim ho ade o ha na ma me no se o obeboa ni so obeboa ama ka che sister Esther niso obwa oso pe kan ho na mo bwa nto ba be hu na mo bwa ta akola no so obe ko toreta jise ma so mu diko obe jise
nti say school ni di ojai kra
so
ana
owie o manage ni ba ko no di wie na o say owie school no a ni course no ye no o say ada obe ye lawyer ana
Okay, so Suleimana Meba also Mami Musano. Suleimana, how are you?
I'm fine.
Okay. Walk us through a little bit of the journey. What happened while you were in school? At what point did you realize you were unwell? And what were the doctors telling you?
But me was school no.
Now year bang. Now was secondary school.
Mpacho.
Okay, year bang.
Oh, that was second year.
Okay.
And na me feel okay. And me catch me mommy. Me catch no. Or the miracle hospital sabre. And then or the miracle and or the miracle no. Mommy edro. Mommy edro ma no me edro na no sa. Still. Inti me catch no. And or the miracle VR.
Okay.
Or the miracle VR no. So almost yenko tra scan bi and a cock tra scan no kolebu yenko tra scan no kolebu no and ye di bar VR no back and doctor ne catch me say Doctor ne catch me say yare bi ha many inti doctor ne catch me say onti me nye bibia about that yare no inti wa my referral letter say en fan call Kolibu.
Okay, but at the beginning of this condition, you say you kept going to the hospital, they gave you a lot of medications, but still you were not well. What did the doctors at the time tell you was happening to you, and what medications were you given? Do you remember?
Oh, that time, Makosa, just the hospitals now, Makosa, but then still.
But what condition did you report at the hospital with? Was it headache? What was it?
Oh, that time no. Na makacho almost say miti.
Okay.
Because as at that time no na menini ya bi
Now when you know na aya o ya pain. I mean I dey usane na aya o ya pain and say of secondary school na e buy.
Oh, me course secondary school no.
Okay.
And I buy.
Now hold on for me. Only ni wo fie no one complain that say nani eye ne ya ni tie ne ya osane nkola be one complain that say ni ti bia ye ne ya da. Okay.
Oko school no na ka 3 months no be wi no. No kan kire me say ma me 3 ya me ya. Me 3 ya me ya na minim. Nso ya me ya. Nti o kan sa no ho na me sorry. Na me o me di no akoroma. Se doctor bia ma kodwo apon doctor bia minam. So we so be ya adro. Bi oba nu ante sa adro si. Me pese.
Oh, you tried herbal medicine as well?
Ma try homoni nyina herbal homoni nyina. Dan se sia. Ma yesa na sika ni nyina ade abesa.
So that was at the beginning. Okay. At the beginning no. Uko na osiniti eni na niye ni no. Uko hospital na. You tried every other alternative. You tried herbal aside the orthodox. You tried the herbal. So what she's saying is relatively is that at the beginning of the condition, he mentioned that it was pains in the eye and headache as well, and doctors kept giving him painkillers. The mother, but still he was experiencing the pain. The mother took him to visit a lot of facilities and even tried herbal medication as well, but still the condition persisted. Man Pacho.
Pacho, John Vamsa, na ya samba korebuno. I'm so me pesa me ban home ton. Na me sisa me dem ni nyina, ni ama ni nyina atom.
So you sold everything you had so that you can pay for his well-being. Okay, please go ahead.
Na me sisa ene me kete me bibi atom. Say me bia na ho nya honto. Na me san ko me dan for bi omo ho na ma bob busia 230 me jiwe wa say me ba ho atoma me ba ye pa opa na e de me fatu omo satka ni nya akọ me disa yare ni nyina yare no onko se se a doctor chere se e dia wo ni mono
the tumor
no wo ni tremono on ye omo ye operation manual obewu da ni tribe ye kese.
Okay, so let me understand. Maybe Esther, since Esther has been with you, she can help us understand what the doctors are saying. Remember back to you. Esther, how are you?
I'm fine.
And God bless you for helping them. I mean, in her story, in her narration, she said that you met her at a facility and decided to help her go around. Now, walk us through what the doctors were saying at the Korle Bu and what currently is the situation. What do we have on our hands?
Thank you very much. At the hospital, when I initially joined there, the first thing the doctor said...
How long ago was this? 2 months ago?
This was
3 months
in September.
Ago? Okay, so that's 2 months ago.
Yes.
Okay.
So when I initially joined, when I met her, as she said, and she didn't have money for labs, she was crying. So the following week, I went with her to do the labs. And when we finally got to the consulting room, what the doctor said to me initially was that, why didn't anyone follow her to the hospital? Because they've been trying to explain the medical condition to her, but she didn't really understand.
Okay.
So it seemed as though maybe, I don't know, but when they go forward, she does not really, all she knows is brain tumor, and that was about it. So after we did the lab, I asked the doctor, okay, what's going on? The doctor said he has brain tumor, but the tumor is non-cancerous. Meanwhile, the tumor is here. So it's pressing on his optical nerves.
Okay.
So it's sitting there. And the place where the tumor is at the junction where his mobility, his hearing, and the eye, like everything is there. So if it persists, he might lose his ability to walk as well.
Okay, so the surgery that they are going to do, that's the one that they are requiring 80,000 cedis from the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital. So, dear Ghanaians, Suleimana will require 80,000 cedis. He could, if we do not come to his aid, he could lose his mobility and eventually his life. This is our human resource base. Let's help save him. Now, so the surgery that will be conducted, will it restore his eyesight and what else? Okay. And prevent him from losing his ability to walk? What's the situation? Help us.
Okay. So the surgery is called craniotomy. They are going to take a part of his skull. They will open here and then take out
his cranium. Okay.
Yes, and then put it back.
Okay.
But the problem is that they might not be able to take all. So these are the treatment method they've taken. Okay. So when they take out the part of the tumor, they can be able to take out. They'll put him on. He'll be on medication for the rest of his life. Okay. If we are not able to do the surgery...
I want to understand something before. I know I'm out of time, but if they take out the tumor, will his eyesight be restored? Or they'll have to look at alternative options?
Yes.
Okay. So the tumor, taking out the tumor will prevent him from losing his ability to walk. And then eventually his life.
His life.
Okay.
And then the ability to hear. And then his speech. Now, you notice that when he was speaking, it's like...
It was incoherent.
Yes. So, and he seems to be forgetting things.
Okay.
So all these things, they explain that it's because of where the tumor is. That's why all these things are happening. Okay. So if they don't do the surgery...
What are the timelines that we have?
Emergency.
Immediately?
Yes. The surgery, because they said time has already been wasted. The fact that he's not seeing both eyes means that it has already advanced. So now it's his mobility. And the thing is, wherever the tumor touches, it's difficult for it to be reversed.
Okay.
So if we waste more time, it means if he's not able to walk again, getting him back to walk will be difficult. If he's not able to hear again, getting him back to hear will be difficult.
Reversal will be very difficult. Yes. Thank you very much. So that's Esther Yaya Aloko. That's Adam Sulemana, and that's Kubi Kabukwo. She's the mother. Sulemana is the patient at the center of this. He requires 80,000 cedis. I know you've done this. Please come to the Moment numbers will be constantly displaying it throughout the week, so that you can give us your donations as well. If you are touched, please, if you want to walk into our studios, you can come to our offices. We are located at Bridge, and then come and help us save his life. He needs the surgery urgently. Thank you. You have done this before. I know you can do this. I take a break here. When I come back, I sit with the best business reporter in Ghana. Let's take a documentary.